Welcome to Range of Motion Exercises. Preserve your mobility and your flexibility.
Hi, my name is Bob. I'm 75. I'm going to show you 5 different exercises. The first one's called a standing hip car. I'm going to stand close to something like my fridge or maybe a countertop or some kind of a pole because I want to stabilize the one side of my body while I work on the outside hip. So I'm going to put all my pressure, all my weight on the inside leg. I'm going to be pushing down with the bottom of that foot, and I'm going to be keeping that leg really straight, as well as my spine. There's going to be a lot of work done by that inside glute and that hamstring on the inside leg. As I slowly, standing up nice and tall, raise the outside leg up, bringing the knee as high as possible. Then I'm going to take it out to the side as far as I can go, keeping the knee up nice and high. Then I'm going to lift my ankle up really high and bring my knee around close to my body and back up to where I started. Then I'm going in reverse. I'm going to take my knee down close to my body, and as I take it out, I'm not only going to lift my ankle up, but my knee is coming up as high as possible so I can bring it back to the front and then take it down to the floor. This exercise is called the first knuckle push-up, which is about this much of your finger, the top chunk of your fingers. Most push-ups are done on the floor. They have great benefits. You work a lot of body parts when you do a push-up, but this is a first knuckle push-up, so it could be used as a warm-up for your hands. And we're going to use the first knuckle to do the push-up, which is going to take a lot of the pressure off the wrists, but you'll still feel it in your wrists. And we're going to use a fridge, so I'm going to use the fridge here. So I'm going to make sure my hands are flat against the wall or the fridge, and I'm going to spread my fingers the best I can. And if you have any arthritis in your hands, you'll have trouble spreading your fingers like I do. Remember, I'm 75. See that sticks up there, that bone? It's hard for me to get that apart. There. And my hands with my arms straight should be the same height as my shoulders. Because if you were doing this down on the floor, you would have your hands below your shoulders. So my feet are shoulder width apart. I'm back a little bit to get my arms straight. And then all I'm going to do is, without moving anything, I'm going to lift my palms off the fridge. Maybe I'll lift my thumbs too, and just try to bend and hold on, bend my hands in the opposite direction to where they usually bend, and put my pressure on the first knuckle. And then I relax, and then I bend, and I'm still in that push-up position. I am working my fingers and my palms. I am working my wrists, but not as much as if I was on the floor doing this. I'm working my forearms, working my shoulders. I'm working my chest. I'm working my back. And as I go back and exhale on the lift here, if I suck in my belly button, I'm working my core too. But I am working my core somewhat because I'm holding myself really static. And you can do as many of those as you want, but I would suggest you start with maybe 3 and then go about your workout, whatever that may be. Okay. The second exercise is called an assisted squat hold. So I'm going to be using something to help stabilize my body as I do a squat. And I've chosen the countertop here. So with my feet shoulder width apart, standing in my best posture possible, I'm going to lower my body into a squat, a deep squat, depending on how far down I can go. Now, instead of pushing my bum back and leaning forward like this, like most people would do when they do a squat, I'm going to use this so that I can go straight down, well, not quite straight, but almost, bringing my knees into a static position as I come as low as I can into that squat. I couldn't do this if I wasn't holding on. My form would fall apart. And I hold it. And then when I'm ready, I slowly come up the way I went down. So don't lean forward, come straight up. There's a lot of work being done with the hips and the quads and the hamstrings. Quads going down and hamstrings coming back up. I'll show you one more time. So instead of leaning forward, maybe I'll move back a little bit. So here I go, feet shoulder width apart. Really use my feet. My toes are spread as far as they can get. I'm using the outside and the heel of the feet for stability. And here I go, slowly lower my hips. My knees are really static. They're staying right where they are. But of course my legs are bending and I'm going as low as I can go, keeping my back pretty much straight. And when I get as far down as I can go, I hold it. This is my range of motion. That's as low as I can go today. And then slowly, this part, don't lean forward, come up slowly, maintain that great posture. This is called a standing leg raise. Not only is it good for your hamstrings, and your quads, and your glutes, but it's also good for your core muscles that stabilize you. So I'm going to stand in neutral with my best posture possible, and then I'm going to take one leg and I'm going to lift it up so that it's parallel to the floor and as straight as I can get it, pointing my toe up to the ceiling. So I have to shift my weight to the other leg and then lift my leg up. That's as high as I can go and back down. Shift my weight up and down. Keep the legs straight. If you can do this slowly, you've got great core and great balance. But I'm 75. This is tough. Shift my weight, lift the leg. Shift, stand tall. Keep the leg really straight. Shift. Shift. One more. Shift. One more on the other side. Shift. I'll have to practice that if I want to slow down. This is an unweighted deadlift. Unweighted. The only weight I'm going to use is a broom, and this doesn't weigh much of anything. You could use a stick, doesn't matter what you use, but maybe something long and something you can hold on to. And the difference between a squat and a deadlift is that when I do a deadlift, I hinge at the hips as I lower the weight or lift the weight. When I squat, I don't do that. You just saw the squat hold, and I was going pretty much straight down. So I'm going to hold this bar, feet shoulder width apart, standing up nice and tall. Hold the bar really close to my legs. And as I lower the bar, I do bend at the hips a little bit, but I keep the bar really close to my legs. Now my legs are bent at the knees, right? And the weight is really, the bar is really close to my body. I'm going to try that again, except this time I'm not going to bend my legs. I'm going to work those hamstrings by hinging and lowering the bar. Notice my body is bent here. My shoulders are still above my hips. So I have to bend my knees a little bit to keep my shoulders above my hips, but not much. And then I come back up. That's the deadlift. Now, a lot of people, when they pick something up, if they choose to bend over and not do a squat, they would be reaching a little bit out here. And that won't work your body parts that you want to work when you're doing the deadlift. You want to keep the bar close to your body, only bend at the knee a little bit, and lower the bar down close to your legs. And then when you're ready, come back up. Keep the bar close to your legs. So, I'm bending forward, keeping the bar close to my legs, which protects my low back, but it also strengthens my low back. And of course my legs are getting a workout.